Hello, my good people. I just want to share my thoughts today about society that we live in, that we form, and about, of course, narcissism and psychopathy, the dark triad. Um, See, I am a little bit concerned because sometimes it seems like, it looks like that society actually rewards certain combinations of antisocial behavior. But at the same time, we still teach the children in the schools and everywhere. We try to get our children to be empathetic and caring and loving and sharing and all these empathetic traits that are far away from being narcissistic or psychopathic, which is, of course, the right way to educate children, right? I mean, this is how it has been always. Yet our society shows us that being competitive in a negative way, there is a confusion about competition, because the competition in sports is a great thing. I mean, the people who do in sports are on the same level. They all subscribe to that thing, what they do, and it's about fun. And the greatest sportsman of all time, after the fight, after the game, whatever it is that you're watching, they are laughing and they showing huge respect to each other, and they show us that it's not about humiliating the enemy and about killing the enemy, but about having fun. And the greatest sportsmen, they understand the difference, that this is not primitive war, this is civilized, this is sports, this is competition, healthy competition. But there are so many misconceptions in society, and there's people who think they have to compete with each and everyone about everything, and putting themselves and others into stress situations. And it is insulting and ridiculous if people try to compete about each and everything, because there might be people who don't even being in that mode of thinking, because they know who they are and what they can do, and they are rather thinking about performing in a very unique way, doing what they do best, and being part of society and meeting the requirements of the people around them. But this misconception of unhealthy competition, it is a disease, and it creates diseases, because this puts everyone in a fight and flight situation constantly. And since we cannot fight and we cannot flight in a job situation, we just build up adrenaline and cholesterol, which is not very good for your health. And this describes a lot of diseases that we have in a civilized world. So there is a huge misconception in what competition is meant for in a society in a healthy way. And it seems like the antisocial behavior, like this competitive thinking in everything, and also boldness, and a lack of empathy for others, not thinking about others, being self-absorbed, all these things, you know what I mean. This behavior is rewarded in many cases. I mean, let's say there are narcissists and psychopaths who are very successful. There is a lot of medical doctors that are psychopaths, actually. This is a fact. And of course there is a lot of narcissistic or psychopathic. I don't even want to distinguish this. You know, it's this is something for the diagnosis of these stuff. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter, because it's so unlikely that someone is being diagnosed, because the first thing that has to happen is that the people self-admit it to themselves. They say, all right, I have a problem. I suffer from my own personal disorder. I need a therapist that helps me, and in order to get a fitting therapy, I first must find out what is it really, and then they must cooperate with that therapist, and the therapist might even still make a wrong diagnosis, because a person who truly suffers from this kind of cluster B disorder will score high in every cluster B disorder, and only the dominant disorder will be the diagnosis then, all right? And so it's easy to make a wrong diagnosis, even for an absolute pro. And the last thing is, the personality disorder can switch easily from narcissist to psychopath, from psychopath to narcissist, to borderline, to malignant narcissist, to I don't know what, you know. So it doesn't matter. What matters is how the people behave in society. They are abusive, they don't care for anyone, and they make a lot of damage, because they traumatize people, they zombify people, they create other people like them around themselves. And the question is, what I want to ask you all is, maybe we want this, maybe this is the goal, you know, maybe we want to promote this behavior in society, but then we need to get our children, maybe we want to get our children the same way, right? Maybe we want to do this, maybe this is the goal now. I mean, we're at a point, I'm saying this provocative, we're at a point now where artificial intelligence is coming at us, and robotics, and when you put this together, you get a robot with an artificial intelligence that is on the level, that can talk to you on the level of a human being, like ChatGPT 4 or something. And if you have virtual reality, you don't even need a robot. All you need is an Apple Vision Pro, and then you have that artificial intelligence that is rendered in your reality talking to you, and it will be much smarter than your partner. You will think, oh, finally a smart person I can talk to, right? But I tell you, this will not have emotional intelligence. It has no empathy, all right? And so it is basically this, okay, a robot or an artificial intelligence. Is that the same like a narcissist? Is that the same like a psychopath? Maybe this is what we want, you know? Maybe this is the new society. Because, well, back in the days I thought everybody is like me, and I consider myself an empath, okay? And I thought everyone is like me. But I think the reality is that we're actually being outnumbered by dark triad people. I think the smallest part of society is actually what everybody teaches the children: being caring, empathetic, social, not overreacting, slow to anger, slow in judgment, being like Jesus, basically, okay? And Jesus in the Bible, it has been the same way 2,000 years ago. It's not just a new thing. Jesus said, if you follow me, if you live my way, you will be hated and persecuted, and you also shouldn't, it will not be rewarded. He said, for a rich man, it is harder for a rich man to get into the kingdom of God than for a camel to walk through the eye of a needle. So basically, if you pursue the worldly goals, if you want to be financially successful or successful in a worldly way, you have to be, to, you know, to not be empathetic, right? That's basically what he said. And it has been that way already 2,000 years ago. And I want to ask you, is that the way we want to go? We want to make society a place where narcissists and psychopaths are rewarded. All right? Is that the place we want to go? I mean, they will be very good. They will be very happy with robots and artificial intelligence. They can understand them much better than we can. There's not a big difference between a psychopath and a narcissist and an artificial intelligence. They are basically intelligence with a lack of emotional intelligence and no empathy. So maybe they will be just really chilling very well with each other, and they can compete if they want. But I'm out, my people, I'm out.